right, folks, welcome back for another Monday. The only Monday, the one and only Monday. That's a good. Yeah, that was great. That was good. I think my introductions are getting better, guys. Welcome in. Good to see you all this lovely new week. Welcome back for potentially a pretty fun day of gameplay. I'm doing 0 to hero, and I'm gonna do it for real, to the point where I'm probably gonna publish these as videos as well, and try to give a decent idea of what it looks like to get started out in this game. With a little twist, I cannot own my own ships, or rather I can't fly my own ships. So this is gonna be kind of like a no ship 0 to hero run. Essentially, I can board any ship that I am not flying, and even if it is my own ship, I can get somebody else to fly it. The goal being, it was like 2 years ago maybe now that I tried to go through a whole game play scenario on with a character to try and do this, and it was absolutely terrible. I think it's probably still going to be absolutely terrible, but I'm looking forward to getting back into the game in like a new player, beginner style sort of playthrough. So that's the plan for today, but also wanted to touch on a little bit of news. I want to talk about a little bit of The Expanse today. And also, hi. Hello. How y'all doing? Good to see ya. Welcome in, chat. I love how Twitch chat was literally in here having a conversation before I ever got to the computer. Good to see you, Maverick, Fastin, Valis, Mrs. Tomato, who is also, I know now, talking to our niece and being just the loveliest out there. It's going to be hot today, folks. It is going to be so damn hot, and I think it is the last day of heat. So we're going to drive down to my parents' house after this and jump into their pool, because it's the last time of the year probably we can do that. I don't know why I mentioned that. It's gonna get hot. I can already kind of feel it in the air. Liquid Skies, good to see you, man. Space Marine, welcome in. Howdy doody. YouTube, you guys were getting busy early, no? B5 Guy, Astro Monkey, I see you guys. Thanks for being here. NECA, Retalker, Justin Payton. What's up? How you doing? Welcome in, Toast Gang. Waybreaker, good to see you. Sevens, dude. Folks, my friends, the articles, they have begun. The articles have indeed been landing. I think ever since like maybe Friday, to be quite honest. Toes! My friends, we need to talk. We talked about this last week, you know? We talked about how maybe Chris shouldn't say certain things because they'll... I mean, a lot of people in chat said that I was looking at this kind of possibly the wrong way. But I think I was looking at it in the way that most people are going to look at his statements about this stuff. Which is that it sounds kind of wild. Okay? No matter what it is that you might mean. The way it comes off is a little wild. But I think Chris is onto something here. I think he knows. He knows this is free media. This is free advertising. Yeah? What if Chris is actually not to be like, oh, this is some 4D chess kind of thing. More so, it almost feels like whoever is advising or maybe asking for Chris to not say things is like, maybe every once in a while we let something slip, you know? Maybe just stay in the press cycle a little bit. It's free. Much cheaper than what goes for advertising these days now. I think he's just excited. I mean, I can imagine he's excited. I would be excited. Okay, this game looks freaking sick. even if, I mean, I don't know. I think if you're a space fan, if you like space things, and you go and you watch the hour gameplay that they released for Squadron, it is interesting enough to just like get your giddies going. You know, yeah, the writing's a little campy. Sure, it's pretty like cliche the way it goes throughout the battle. Yeah, that's what it's made for. I'm okay with that. We need that. We need more of that. That's what almost what Halo was when it came out, except for the big, huge twists in that game, which, just, I mean, they're right there. But I would be incredibly excited, especially if, you know, what people saying when they're like, oh, this is what he really wanted to do with Freelancer or Wing Commander or whatever. Being able to actually come back and do that, I wouldn't be able to hold myself together. CR saying things he shouldn't. Maybe. To compare yourself to GTA 6, you know, a lot of game companies, a lot of like people in the game world probably wish they could say this and get a bunch of articles made about them. So maybe that's a little power that he gets to have. It's almost a, I don't know, it feels like it's almost a setup. Please tell me you voted for Asgard. I have not voted in days. Am I even logged in? Yeah, I'm not voting in judge of you. Vudging. I'm not voting in front of you so that you can judge me. There it is. Your judging eyes. I will vote in private. Thank you very much. And then I will... Oh, it's the... Wait, is this the freaking final thing? Holy crap, I missed the entire semifinals. Well, I mean, it went basically how I expected. Oh boy, look at that, huh? So it ends today? Is that right? The Asgard versus the Asgard versus the Polaris. I wonder what ship is gonna win, huh? It's almost like we knew that this was gonna happen all the way through, and will continue to the top spot. He doesn't get to say it, it's an unreasonable claim. I mean, he really gets to say whatever he wants. It's kind of like the whole problem with our current president. All the people are like, hey, stop giving him attention. He's doing it on purpose. He's saying things and you guys will report on it. And everybody knows that. But they'll still report on it. It's free advertisement. I'm not saying that he's doing it because of the advertisement, but it's literally the same as like some random person. I guess he did it in an interview, so it's pretty pointed. But anybody can go online and say something ridiculous about something that they're excited about. It's only serious if the journalists all pick it up and start reporting on it, and then it's like, okay, well, I guess this is news now. Yeah, no one takes it credibly, but that still doesn't mean that he's not allowed to say it. I don't think he should. I think it's a ridiculous thing to say. Oh man, but ridiculousness sells today. And that's actually that I think above all else, I would prefer if he was excited and believed this rather than playing some kind of advertising game. That would feel worse because I don't want to be associated with something that would need to stoop to that kind of level to to advertise. I don't think that is what he's actually doing. I have my, suspicions. Maybe, but no, I don't think that's what he's actually doing. Hello, Rig. How you doing? But yeah, I think they're comparing the whole GTA 6 comment and not the release date stuff. The release date stuff is not really, none of it is that crazy. It's his statement is wild, but like it's not damaging really. And then his Squadron 42 in 2026 release is nice to see that they're still publicly backing that, and we don't have any immediate delays in our future. That's good. But the Star Citizen 2027-28 launch thing is pretty wild. That's kind of worth just looking into. He could have said we hope to be bigger than GTA 6. We really think that we're just gonna absolutely blow the pants off of GTA 6 and they won't be able to recover. Sorry, Rockstar. You can see an argument for what he's saying in that headline. You haven't read the article. It's the release of non-corporate AAA title. Well, the headline is not going to care about that, right? All right. So here's a little look at the kind of stuff that would need to be in the game and pretty polished by 1.0. In fact, we could start off this little detour. We will get to gameplay today, I promise. We're going to start this off with a little listen in, a refurbishment into our brains of what Richard Tyrer described was Star Citizen 1.0.
It's an alpha development patch, which means it's adding further tech, features, and content to our alpha version of the game. Today, though, is beyond 4.0, all the way to 1.0. And the big difference is that 1.0 is the full release of the game. Okay, so what does that mean? How will it be different to a normal patch? Well, firstly, let's look at the 1. The 1 means we're committing to higher base performance and
Imagine, the 1 means we're committing to one patch, and then we're moving on to the next game.
minimal bugs. No longer will we reference that the game is in development. This will be a fully released and polished experience. It means fully rounded gameplay loops, from new player experience to story missions and endgame content. And crucially, it means no more resets between patches. It's a true...
Okay. So, like, no more resets is that's a big one. Right now, they're already saying, oh, we don't want to really do that many more resets. We're in a stage where the game is still unstable and everything. But, like, if they have to do any sort of changes to the back end, they're generally doing some kind of a reset. It's not going to always be all your ships, but it might be consumables and stuff like that. Like, they're basically saying here that you won't lose your components. You're not doing any more resets. So we got to get all the systems in on a system that works well. Not perfectly, but virtually imperceptible as far as persisting all of your stuff.
Performance. This will be a fully released and polished experience.
Polished. All of the gameplay needs to be polished.
It means fully rounded gameplay loops, from new player experience to story missions and endgame content. And crucially, it means no more resets between patches.
And then no more resets.
Oh,
okay.
It's just as important. It means we're still committed to continued development, with new content and features being planned post 1.0. But those features will no longer be tier 0.
So there will be some things still released after 1.0. AI crew definitely included. Well, actually, I can't even say definitely. Most likely included. Hopefully. No more tier 0. It shouldn't even be like tier 1 or anything like that. It's going to have to be, and I'm actually getting a little nervous about data running, to be honest, because it's not on here. We're gonna go through the gameplay that they've talked about being a part of this 1.0 release here in a second. It's all the stuff they have to get through, but something that is not on there is something that I'm real excited about. Queso! Okay, first of all, I gotta say thank you to Clemmy.
Thank you very much.
Shout out to the homie Clemmy on Twitch dropping a Prime sub. Thank you very much for the support. Queso, though, just came out here and got us started. Wait, give me the minute.
Thank you very much.
All right, just came out here and got us started on a Toes Gang for the day. I don't think I took a picture of this one.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can you shut up, dude? I really need a button for this guy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. My eraser is gone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think Mrs. Tomato took my eraser. Also, that guy's still not shutting up. Why does my channel name show names as @handle instead of normal? I don't know. Is that on the... That happened recently. I'm not really sure where that came from. Or why that do that. Why it be like it do be that. Hey, Queso, you're already up here, dude. I could just come up in here and drop a new number in here. Thank you, my man. All right. Back to this. Let's talk more about 1.0, what's actually included in this. No more Tier 0 features. Continuing on.
We'll be committing to a higher benchmark of quality for each patch, and most importantly, it's a moment in time.
Okay. So let's jump forward a little bit here. We got a main storyline in Star Citizen that is going to interweave itself with the guild system that allows you to get involved with different factions and companies throughout the game. And that main storyline will kind of drive you through all the different parts of Star Citizen. So that includes, well, we'll get to the specifics of what that means in a little bit. That's just part of 1.0. Another part of 1.0 is obviously you got star systems. We've already got 2 of them, Stanton and Pyro. Nyx, we kind of... I think Nyx is a shoe-in at this point. It's probably ready for all intents and purposes, but they don't really have any reason to put it in. So I'm guessing we'll probably see it next year. But you know, there's always a chance maybe it comes in at the end of the year. I think that's unlikely, but it's possible. Castra is going to be the following system after that. 2 planets, plenty of factions. It's a heavy UEE system, so a lot of military stuff and high security. And then after that, we've got Terra. Terra is going to be ridiculous. This is going to be... They started with Stanton because it was the most difficult system in the game. One of the most difficult systems in the game. But it had 4 habitable planets. Most systems don't. I don't think even Terra does. All of its 4 habitable planets included a ice giant, a regular planet kind of thing, and a Cumulonipolis where they could flex on their city building, and a gas giant, which allowed them to do their cloud tech. So Stanton was a great start point because it allowed them to really get the engine built, which was a lot of their goal over the last 10 years. It also has like 4 landing zones, 4 cities, 4 big companies. Most of these systems, again, don't have that. Terra doesn't even have that. But Terra is basically the center of humanity besides Sol. So there's going to be a lot of factions here. It's going to be a big system with a high population. And just in general, I think it's also going to be a challenging system to make. So that's also in there. And then we've got the whole loop kind of how everything works. We won't get into that. That's just going to make this such a long video. This part, though, definitely starts to just blossom the potential for how much work this could be. This is essentially their big PvP thing. They're going to put it into systems that are relatively uncontrolled. So, like, not safe systems like Stanton, Terra, and Castra, more like Pyro. And basically there will be several ground bases around the different moons and planets in the system, and these ground bases will be connected up to a relay of shields, and you will have to battle every week with other groups to control enough points to get the dedicated shields onto your bases on these planets. Therefore, you will get full protection while everybody else will be scrambling to protect themselves for the following week. You have to take over these shield bases, you gotta knock some satellite things offline. It's It's crazy. It is a lot, and it's a really cool idea, but it's going to take a lot of players all the time, and not even just making this happen, but making this like a polished working experience in the game, I think is also going to be a pretty hefty call. Oh, they have spaceship building as well, which honestly is like one of the best presentations they've ever put on. This is like this is quality hype. Let me
Well, let's go on a journey and start building our space base.
Yeah, this is like this was they generally stick away from like the very hypey kind of stuff at Citizen Cons for the most part lately. I think this is probably the biggest one they did. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised by the fact that they were even trying to include something like this during this Citizen Con. It felt wildly just not the time. I would think it would have made more sense to introduce something like this maybe next year, not even this year, but like at next year's Citizen Con. It's very cool, but it still feels plenty far away, and like not even really something that players are too concerned with right now. We still need base building first, and an economy that makes this kind of thing possible. But it is very pretty. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. This one felt really very. Hey, we're doing. There's more. More is gonna happen. Okay, but I'm still excited for the the base building that you introduced last year. First, let's get to that. And this was just an art demonstration, so sometimes they get ahead a little bit on those. So that is a lot of what 1.0 is supposed to include, but definitely not all. Let's take a look at the actual features and mechanics that are expected during this 1.0. And then I will just leave it up to you to sort of think about how we've been going throughout development. And with maybe Squadron 42 releasing and showing more of the... show the bangle. Is Squadron 42 releasing and showing more of the workforce over to Star Citizen, maybe, potentially, hopefully. Perhaps we could see a speed up in development, but to be quite honest, I don't know, guys. I don't know about this kind of speed up. I also don't know where the bangle is. No. Ah, there it is. Hey, Billipsty. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. How many ships do you think they drop at IAE? Probably 2. 1 or 2. They usually don't go too crazy at IAE. They wait until... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Citizen Con. Yeah, we'll probably see 3 ships at IAE. I think there's only so many ships they can release at one time. They start to get a lot of crossover of the people buying said ships, buying multiple ships at a sale, just because they're trying to collect rather than get the ships for themselves kind of thing, you know? So I think if they release too many ships, that ultimately turns into less people buying those ships rather than if they were staggered. And I think CIG knows that. It ain't the greatest, man. I was thinking about doing a video about the concept sales ending. McScruffy, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate you, dude. Okay. Let's talk about the 1.0 features. Starware is the first one. This is a system that allows clothing to be worn with armor. Is the main focus here. But it is also the ability for armor and clothing to have stats, essentially. Not stats that you're customizing yourself and like upgrading and stuff like that. Just stats, just base stats that decide how much cold protection, radiation, 0G, how much oxygen does it carry, all that kind of stuff. Next up is Star Sim, the simulation that runs the whole back end of the game. We do not know much about this at this point. The previous version that was being made, Quantum, has probably changed quite a bit since the last time we heard about it. So we'll have to wait for that. That one's really annoying. Content instancing. This is something that depends on dynamic server meshing. It's clearly something that they want in the game already with the way that they release their underground facilities, and I think it's probably coming sometime relatively soon. Maybe not widespread, but in a more significant way than the ship hangars. Realistic audio mode, you guys know that. That's like when you lose your computer simulation and now you start hearing the actual noises around your ship as you're fighting, or when you're fighting in 0G and everything sounds different. It also means Doppler effects, and other effects that, you know what? These things are all pretty easy to show. I say pretty easy and then I get lost. Yeah, see, I don't even know where I messed up here. All right. Sound. So this kind of stuff.
The pitch and tempo change. So you can hear the pitch and tempo changing as we move relative.
And then
we're just going to
explosions and
listen
stuff.
from Pico down before. Okay, like voice of. There's one more. We have ship with a sense of threat. It's not too easy to tell what's going on there, but you can put a.
So this is the kind of.
And that's way too
Sound
cool
stuff.
to do just once, so we're going to do it twice more from further distance. So again, cinematic effect first when you see it. Shockwave. And the explosion itself. This is all completely driven by parameters in the game, so we can do this for real.
So that's all. We actually had that talk with the new lead audio person with Squadron 42 or Star Citizen the other week. That's the kind of stuff that they're working on there. Claude was one of those things what they now call Star Audio, which is literally right here. Yeah, that was one of the things that they've been kind of working on over the years. That seems to be starting to make a difference with some sounds, but I don't know. That could just be the whatever it's called. Palabra? Plethora? What's the name of that word? Placebo. Placebo effect. Then everyone sets camera shake to 0, as long as we can, brother. Should do a video about the end of concept sales. Clickbait thumbnail like JPEG scam over. I'm basically doing that. It's gonna say no more JPEGs. I might mix it up though and call them WebPs instead, because that's the most annoying web picture format there is. Plethora. All right, continuing on. Global illumination. Okay. I mean, this is in parallel. A lot of this stuff ends up coming around, no problem with the engine team. Genesis Starchitect. This is a big one. I'm not really sure what the plan is on in terms of timelines, but Starchitect is freaking huge. It is meant to expand points of interest.
Just like our locations,
using
we can put
new
clusters
technologies
near other clusters, and we group them together.
Basically, this is supposed to use server meshing, splitting planets into servers, in addition to a system that can like mix and match all the different assets they've been making over the years with, I guess, kind of like the location stuff they talked about in 2023.
Just
and
like our
creates
locations, we
a
can put
lot more
clusters
points of
near
interest.
other clusters, and we group them together, ranging between 10 to 15 locations each. And we group this into what we call a sector. Like this one, that has about 120 locations. However, on a planetary scale, we can define how many sectors we should have, with each their own data and persona. And every single one of these locations is now ready for the mission system to hook up and give you gameplay, and for you to find a bunch of places on your own. And just on this side of the planet, can you guess the number? We've got about 3,042 locations.
This one's in the same folder in my mind that Quantum was. Where I'm like, this sounds amazing. How widespread is it actually going to be? It's a very cool, it's a very exciting prospect for the game. But I'm still hesitant on believing it full fish, hook, line, sinker, whatever the saying is. So we'll see more about that. It's exciting. It is a very exciting one. But that's gonna... That obviously depends on the engineering system working at Outposts, depends on their ability to create missions and content at these outposts, it depends on the server meshing, dynamic server meshing working better. It's a hefty one, but I look forward to seeing if they can do that. Hello, Citizen Her. Good to see you. Really hope that with this, there is a much wider array of interesting POIs. Would be amazing if some even had NPCs to interact with them. Yeah, I agree. All of these should have people on site. Like, they can't just be a bunch of locations that don't actually have anything there. What's the point? You could just make one big city and have nothing in it. Yay, there we go. I don't want to fly from place to place, and like, they shouldn't be like the bunkers and the outposts we have in Stanton right now, where it's just like this random grouping of buildings with full-on pressurized life support, plenty of food, all these supplies, and nobody. It's like they just got evacuated and you're the only person there, but it's every single time you show up. So yeah, that's a big one. We'll see how that goes. Planet Tech V5. This one is not as crazy, and it's introducing swamps into the game. It is introducing forests into the game. All of this is just new biome work, taking advantage of the humidity and the temperature, sunlight ranges, the soil depth, all that kind of stuff. It's a big update to their Planet Tech, but I think given the way that their Planet Tech works, this is probably one of the least demanding things on this list, because they're just very, very good at Planet Tech stuff. Not as big, he says. Certainly still an impressive one. I maybe I give too much credit to the Planetech team, but they're good at what they do. Dynamic weather, real-time simulation of weather fronts on a planetary scale. We've seen this in this very same video. They did a nice little demo of it here.
We need to leave now. Get back here.
And like we started to see the thunder and lightning and stuff coming in, but this is supposed to be a system that can actually form based on the weather, the climate, and
Getting out of this suit now.
what those things look like.
Powering up, flying out. We'll need to switch to IFR. See you on the other side.
Oh, come on, an Aurora's not that hard to take off in. Oh, yeah. Do you think, like, obviously a lot of that's scripted. Continuing on quantum travel, this is, holy crap, this is something that they have been working on for years. Literal years. Like, I want to say at least 2 or 3 years they've been working on this new version of quantum travel. Whatever they come up with for this, it better be just the best inter-system space travel there is, because they've been teasing us with it quite a bit. Guild system. This is the system that basically connects everything together in terms of the professions and the people. I think they've got the guilds, the different guilds here somewhere. Here we go. You got a sports federation guild. This is giving you, God. All right, so it keeps showing all of my YouTube subscriptions all at once instead of like when they actually happen. So sometimes you guys might just notice them pop up in clumps. All right, sports federation. This is literally what it sounds like. All athletic stuff. This is on, that includes Sata Ball. Yeah, we all wish. If only the one actual sport was actually a sport. No, what does this include, dude? I'm like, trying to think of what the heck are sports. Racing is definitely in here. There's that. Okay, I know racing exists. But besides racing, Arena Commander, Cargo Olympics, Cargo freaking Olympics, competing in industrial gameplay is actually a very, very good idea. You got the Science Guild, capturing animals, scanning areas, hunting animals, scanning objects, deploying items, little satellites and stuff. Rescue person, search and rescue stuff. Farming, you got corpse. I think that's supposed to say crops. Animals and crops. Farming, we know farming's gonna be a thing at some point. Chemical, food, all that kind of stuff. You're gonna be cooking. Getting your, God, what is his name? Freaking Jeff Gordon looking motherfucker dead from Breaking Bad. Can never remember his name because I didn't watch the series. Sorry. We've also got industrial. Oh, no, we've got the criminal and the law focused guild. So a lot of this stuff is actually what they've been doing this year. Believe it or not, they are making progress on the 1.0 stuff. So they put in Foxwell Enforcement, Citizens for Prosperity, Eckhart Security. They just dropped in Hawkrow Agency here. The Bounty Hunters Guild is in. So most of the factions that are in the Mercenary Guild, at least as far as their examples go, are already in. And they're starting to build out their different missions. Investigate VIP, kill VIP, defend location, investigate location, access data. Like they're kind of sneaking these in. They're not that significant with these first, but once they can start to build in more variety, I think these are going to be solid. The council is the other side of that, the criminal side. Got basically the same kind of stuff, but you know, for like not as altruistic people. There's a couple other guilds. Interstellar Transport Guild is your cargo hunting guild. You gonna hunt some cargo? Buying and selling, delivery, transport, vehicle delivery, data delivery, recovery cargo. Stuff that we've been getting in the game. Some of these factions are already in. Ling Family Hauling. Red Wind Line Haul, FTL. Know some of those, so that's getting worked on. Then you got your industrial guild, refining, crafting, building, fuel gathering, repair technician, miner, salvager. Some of this stuff, again, is already being dropped into the game. Really, this is the least painful part, I think, of what they're working on. Because this is just naturally what they're doing. You gotta add content to the game. You gotta paint that content in the factions that matter. These are the factions that matter. You're building it out. That kind of works out for them. But then you start to get into like the more location specific stuff. So for instance, Eckhart Security, and this is where I think they might start cutting the corners a little bit. I think part of their whole let's not focus as much on local reputation thing is showing us that they're probably going to use the same I mean, they said they're going to use the same factions and guilds across the different systems. I think I might be able to find that for you. You know, it counts, all right? It counts to have an actual from the mouth of the people kind of report on this kind of stuff, because these are big statements. Let's see. Let's see. Local. No. Okay. Reputation. I can't spell. Reputation. What? Oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry, everybody. I was looking at the wrong episode. We are interested in characters and creatures? No. Oh boy, oh guys. I might be lost. Earning in the verse. Is this it? No, that's not it. Sounding things out. Invictus. The story so far. Here we are.
We've mentioned in the past, obviously we spent a long time talking about Pyro and stuff in the lead up. Hopefully Nick's ain't that long. Are the previous...
Here we go.
Expand out into
Listen to
the
this.
system so you can have a continuous experience as you travel through the star systems. Like, you know, and so I think a part of that is kind of limiting who you're going to be able to grow that reputation with. We're going to have local factions and local people that you can still get paying jobs with and do small mission chains with, but you won't necessarily be earning a permanent reputation with them that's tracked and affects other people. So it's going to be a lot more focused and hopefully deliver a more in-depth experience for those factions that you do work with.
So I am actually, see, it's a good thing we came back and listened to this, because that actually was better than I thought it was going to be. He actually specifically said that they were still focusing on missions and storylines that were locally sourced rather than being dependent on a faction that is spread out across the system. So, gameplay-wise, it sounds like we are safe on getting more unique experiences in the different systems. Reputation-wise, that is a little bit limited, but that was a really good confirmation. Glad we went and looked for that. See, it counts to go get your proof, do your checks and your citations and stuff. So guild stuff is a big thing. It's a big thing, but like I said, I think that happens a little bit more naturally as they go about it. Insurance, taxes, and warranty, they're working on that. That is heavily focused on the item recovery that they're doing, so we're in tier 0 of that. Tier 1's being worked on. We will probably get the monthly report this week and be able to talk a little bit more about that. Hopefully there's an update in there about it. I really hope. If we do, that should give us better news on where things are going. We also need crafting. We will need a more reliable game. They can't start taxing us when we're just dying from running into a wall. But that's stuff that could come together rather quickly, I think.
Toes.
Any news on Bounty Hunter V2? Not that I know of, no. Not that I have seen. I have a video for supporters. If you do end up getting a sub on Twitch, if you go to the Discord server for the garden There are like 6, I think, exclusive videos for anybody who's got like a sub or a YouTube member or Patreon. And one of those videos is actually explaining everything we know about bounty hunting, how it's being affected by the current economy situation, and when we might see it. But that's everything I know about it, which is basically to say not much. Your hope is that they are simplifying so that new players can easily understand the verse at launch, but then they will dive deeper over time. I hope so. Law and security is a big thing. This is again something that we are starting to see come in. They've added security ships back to space stations, and they have fixed interdiction, so now security will probably be able to start stopping players more. It's almost like the current is there, but not, no, sorry, it's like the voltage is there, but not the current. It needs something to now power it and make these things actually happen in the game. Reputation V2, this is going to take just a while to build out. This is actually one of those things that I do think is going to be worked on up until the release of this game, and it's been going pretty slow so far, rather lately. So maybe this is a place to keep an eye on. New player professions, adding of new player professions to the persistent universe, such as builder, crafter, explorer, athlete, and more. Okay, I thought this meant new player professions, but it means player professions that are new. Which, builder, crafter, explorer, athlete, and more. What is more? What more do we need? Death of a spaceman. I can't believe they're calling it permadeath. That's so... This is... CIG, where's the disconnect, mate? This is where I'm like, they could avoid so much headache if they just don't call this permadeath. People get terrified when you call something permadeath. This is just like a tax on death. This system will forever raise the stakes in the persistent universe as it adds the ability for your player characters to incur permanent injury or even death. And by raising the stakes, they just mean cattle herding with the space cows on Microtech. Where is it? Hey! Thank you everybody. Thank you for laughing so much at that. Laugh! Okay. Alright. AI blades! This is an interesting... They introduced blades very interestingly this year. These aren't actually going to be the same blades that we saw earlier this year. Those were flight blades, but these will be ones that take over things like turrets or other autonomous operations of your vehicle. This is as close as you're going to get to being able to fly a big ship with other parts of the ship being taken care of by somebody that's not you. Unless it's a player. It's as close as you're going to get to a PvE capital ship fight situation, but it won't be able to handle all of the things that you want it to. Just prepare yourself for that. Item misfire and wear is just what it sounds like. This is a Squadron 42 thing. I don't think it's going to take too much for us to see this. Fire hazard is actually about to head into testing, so that's not too crazy. Charge and drain is actually already in the game, but I guess what I think is happening, because they're putting various kind of parts of this gameplay in, you'll see it as well with the rain, dynamic rain and weather is sort of in there. You see it with this one here, weapon overheat is kind of in there with the Volt weapons. I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't know if it's like they want it to be a polished feature before they say that it's no longer tentative but confirmed and move it over into one of the patches. And that's leaving me a little hesitant to say, oh yeah, charge and drain, it's already in the game, it shouldn't be too difficult. I want to say that, but I'm thinking maybe they're waiting until it's in a more polished position before they actually mark it as complete. Don't know. But that's sort of included in engineering. All of this is the fire hazard, charge and drain, life support is here, and engineering gameplay all sort of fall under the umbrella that is engineering. This one reads, introducing dedicated engineering roles aboard ships, allowing players to actively manage power systems, repairs, and system efficiency in real time. So that's all about keeping your ship running managing it. Multi-crew stuff. Solar Flare. This is from Pyro Star. For some reason, this was not brought in with 4.0, and they haven't really mentioned why. A lot of folks think it's because engineering isn't a thing. And once it is, this will be brought in, but who knows. Vehicle radar and scanning rework, we're still waiting for this. FPS radar and scanning, waiting for this. Both things that were in Squadron and supposed to be being tested for Star Citizen. Still not quite yet. IFCS and control surfaces, atmospheric flight, hover mode, the ability to burn out your engines, needing to fly based on the aerodynamics of your ship. All that kind of stuff is wrapped up here. And again, this is a lot of this is stuff that they've shown at CitizenCon. So it's like none of these are really big surprises for anybody who's following closely, but there are still things that they kind of spoke about and sounded like they were closer on than I think they were. Maybe they are, though. Maybe these things are actually much closer than we all think. Let's keep going through them. Hangar upgrades, expanding personal hangar customization with new upgrades, layouts, and functional improvements. This is probably being able to rent and buy hangars in different places. You're going to always have your home location. This is a hangar that you got when you bought the game, so that's already paid for. But if you wanted to go to, say, Castra and get a hangar there, you're either going to have to rent it when you land and then pay the fees for that, or you're going to have to buy a hangar there, which is a whole nother process. We haven't really gotten into that yet because we don't have persistence. We're not playing a real game. There is no reason to give us huge money sinks like that, but I think this is probably kind of included in this. Weapon overheat, we went over that. Player space stations, we touched on that. Implementing the ability to build homes amongst the stars with the introduction of player-made space stations. I think the biggest tell will be how long it takes for this to come in after base building. Tells us how much more work it might take. Gonzo! Yo, my man, thank you for the 36 months of support on Twitch. Cheers to you, my dude. Hope you're having a lovely day. They also promised like 100+ systems, so we're not getting that initially, so people wanted hangars in places we just don't have. Right. Sorry, you got to relocate that hangar. Crafting is another feature on this lovely list, implementing the ability for players to craft various items using resources from throughout the persistent universe. This is like one of the biggest topics in the game right now. I mean, crafting has been shown off multiple years in a row at CitizenCon. Not weird for all of the people who have been following Star Citizen a long time, but it might be a little strange if you're relatively new to this game. They've had a history of showing things way too early in the concept and the early art phase at CitizenCons. And we only just now started to get an idea of what crafting is, not even through gameplay. This was just one big old segment of slides and concepts and how it's going to work. Now, they showed us some kind of like really niced up gray box gameplay for base building. Could very well mean that base building is coming first, but it still was just gray box. This is still, we don't know how far away this is going to be. They did it also on a larger scale here. Looks really nice, looks really cool, but until we see this in the actual game, it's hard to know when this might actually be coming to our hands, or when it might actually matter. You know, need an economy and stuff for this to really matter too. Billups, thank you for the super chat, man. According to the recent Bar Citizen, base building will come out before crafting is fully implemented, which is super interesting. Yeah, there's a couple. There are some whispers and murmurs as to why that might be the logical way they would do it. Whispers and murmurs. Whoa, whispers. Sorry, some people hate getting their ear whispered into. Continuing on, base building. Oh. Hey, look at that. That works out quite nice. Base building is right here, right next to crafting. Best buds. Good old friends. They get along. Those two things are inextricably connected. I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, but they are kind of. Like, base building is basically just crafting bases. So, I think these are coming sort of hand in hand, but I do believe base building is coming first, mainly because let's just say Starchitect won't be ready yet, so they would prefer to, players fill up the space kind of thing, which might tell you something about the timelines they're on. New missions, location repair. This came into the game with 4.2, I want to say. So again, not sure why they still have that on there. But repair missions are important. These are the same missions that we just saw on the right here, repair technician. So that's an important type of new mission type that came in. Finally, it took a while. It was supposed to be in 4.0, but I think they finally got put in with 4.2.1. Good for us. Engineering, kind of, in Outposts. What's up, Sino? That's crazy to see the amount of assets that are already there, already ready, but will only be released in a long time. Right. The life of a Star Citizen fan. 80 plus views, but only 16 thumbs up. Hell yeah, YouTube. 80 plus views, let's go. Y'all not doing bad. A bit behind Twitch, but not bad. Player-to-player trading. We have no idea what's going on with this system, but I don't think that's coming anytime soon. Player organizations. This is really all about the social apps that involves looking at this. Citizenship is not that big a deal. Planetary shields we talked about. That's going to take a while, I think. It includes player bases, ground locations, hostile attacks, a whole shield network. That's a lot. Location-wise, we got utility tunnels. That's including all of the space underneath ArcCorp, which I think they are testing for with the underground facilities. Building interiors. We've gone over that a whole bunch in this chat. I'm sorry if you haven't seen that yet, but check it out on Space Tomato 2. Do a little search for building interiors. You'll find a lot. All the different star systems, of course. Location stories. These are missions and narrative arcs in specific areas, allowing players to experience the uniqueness of various locations in the verse. Now, I don't know how it's still getting not mentioned, but I'm pretty sure these are like literally every update that they release has a location story. Stormbreaker, location story. Hathor facilities, location story. ASD facilities, location stories, right? It's kind of connected, so I can see how they're being connected one to the other, but this is why I'm saying, like, don't call them events. These are probably things that they're going to try and put in at most of the major locations that are handmade. They want to have some kind of a narrative around it. Doesn't mean you have to do it in the first month. It's still going to be there later. So this is an ongoing effort. I don't think that's going to take a long time. Main story will, though. Main story is pretty hefty. Sounds pretty exciting. And then station warfare is literally they just want people to fight each other in between space stations while you are maintaining your own space station. It's kind of crazy. So I look at this and I'm like, yeah, you could put this in the game. This could be in the game in 2 years, 3 years. But how well will it work? Like, after going through this whole list, we just went through everything that they have on the Star Citizen 1.0 panel. I don't actually think it's that crazy to say that all of this stuff could be in the game by 2028. I think 2027 is a little nuts. 2028 doesn't seem that wild for all of this, but I'm talking like bare minimum sort of application. And that's not what Rich was saying on the thing. He was saying no more tier 0 features. these are your finalized gameplay opportunities. This is going to be polished and good stuff. I don't think all of these features are going to reach their maturity by 1.0. I think 1.0 is it's not just a label, but they're going to try and push and rush towards it, even if they want to still keep working. 1.0 probably sounds a lot better for them. They can finally just be like, okay, we released it. Thank you. But yeah, I think we've got a lot of work still going on here. Cubint. Hey man, thank you so much, Cubint, for the subs. Thanks for gifting out the subs, dude. My man. Yeah, give a thanks to Cubint if he just blessed you with that. I'm gonna put his name on the board. Cubint's been an actual homie. Actual freaking homie these last couple weeks, man. Thank you so much. Like I said, if you guys just got a sub, I just released. Okay, I'm gonna. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna plug myself a little bit here. Just released this latest exclusive video. Where is it? Oh, this is the wrong one. Wrong channel. This one. This was one of my, I don't usually do the thumbnails for these, but I did this one, and it is looking at the possibilities of Squadron 42, what could happen and what could not happen, and it compares it to kind of all of the games that come out, whether they succeed or fail, and why a lot of the things that we see with Squadron 42 are kind of also still happening with other games. We just don't hear about it as much. Anyways, that's the latest for the exclusives. If you are a supporter, if you just got gifted a sub by Cubint, you have access to that now on the Discord. Check it out. Thanks for support. Downside is if they say this is 1.0 now, SC is released and it's not great, then that's very bad optics. It is. It is. And it's probably something they're going to revisit every year. How far are we from 1.0? When can we say we've reached it? Because they probably really want to say it as soon as they can, but also it's not going to look great if the game is not in a good place for 1.0. Like if Station Warfare is just a bunch of abandoned player space stations that are sometimes used as cargo depots, sometimes used as meeting points, but not really a utilized feature, that's going to be bad. And it's only going to get worse after release. If they can't get it to that point before release, is it really going to be better afterwards? They've got to be very careful with how they release 1.0. So all this stuff could be showing up in 2 to 3 years, but it's not just about getting this stuff into the game. It's making sure it's actually used by the player base and it's actually interesting to at least some group of the player base. And it's got depth. It's got depth, because this isn't like an early access release anymore, right? This is literally a 1.0 release. Most games don't come out 1.0 anymore. But we're in their early access phase right now. And so they got to really produce with 1.0 when they hit that release. I hope they do. I certainly hope they do. All right, we're going to skip the Expanse stuff for the day. I'm going to go straight into the Zero to Hero because I took way longer on this than I thought I would. So we wrap that up. Finalize and stabilize Genesis and then create Castra and Terra. Will take a lot of time. Maybe. 1.0 beta. Ew. Beta. Oh my god. 1.0 beta. Ew. You don't know if the game will be fun with all the stuff they want to add. With 1.0, you think the game will be entire chore. What do you think will be a chore? Taxes? What are your rules for your Zero to Hero? I am not going to be flying my own ship. I think my game froze here. Oh. So my goal is to only fly other people's ships if they lend them to me, and to be able to get my own ships, but I have to find other people to fly them. Not covering the Seattle Bar Citizen stuff. I did not know there was stuff. I just lost my menu. Let's relaunch the game. It's not doing well. Remember back in 2.12 thinking the game won't be worth playing until around 4.0. Now you think it's going to take much longer. Not worth playing for you yet? You like that the game seems to be making a push for large org gameplay. Playing as an org at the moment is quite hollow. It's funny. I agree. I don't think there's much stuff that's meant for larger groups of people. But it's funny because on the other side of the table, you got people saying that this game is being made for nothing but orgs. They're like, it's just for orgs and PvP. Like, bro, what? There's not even a mission that's worth taking for more than 10 people at a time. All right. What's up, Signal Mod? How you doing? Okay, folks. It is time for the roots to fruits, the zero to hero, the rags to riches, the horror spaceman, actually pretty rich spaceman. You already own a spaceship when you start this game, but the pretty rich spaceman to the much more rich spaceman. We're gonna be doing this together. This is gonna be a series. It's gonna be a whole bunch of different episodes of trying to find ways to get ahead in Star Citizen without flying ships is the focus here. So maybe I can fly somebody else's ship if we need to, if we find one. But for the most part, this is going to be focused on playing as crew, playing as ground team, playing as co-pilot, turret gunner, whatever it might be, getting work, doing work, and finding things to sell, buy, and use without generally using a ship. We'll see how long it lasts. Who knows? But first, we're gonna get this started together. And you guys are gonna help. We gotta pick a gender here. Like me, man? Okay, cool. We're going that way. I'm going to randomize until chat says stop. Which will be very accurate in terms of timing. Oh, we're starting in Stanton, guys. We gotta at least have some population to use. I gotta stop. Okay. You know, I think I've seen a guy that looks like this. He's got a little braid back there. That's good. That's good. We got an extra weapon at start. It's like one of those classic MMOs where every player has some kind of a weapon that's special to their class. And this guy's is his hair. Just freaking take your eyes out. All right, let's get loaded into space. Not gonna take the tutorial, but where should we start? This is exciting because usually I'm starting at Area 18 just because it's like our home, our org home. But now I get the choice. Yeah, I was thinking Microtech. Microtech's pretty exciting. Ooh, Lorville is very central. We got an Orison in the chat. New Babbage. Orison. Multiple Orisons and Microtechs. All right, all right. Lorville. Microtech. 2 Orison. There's so much Orison. There's so... I think we're gonna do... Ooh, okay. I'm thinking it is definitely between Lorville and New Babbage. Lorville's just so dirty. New Babbage, so fresh. Truly the future. 'Tis further away from places, though. But, like, what's really stopping us? We can always move, eh? Let's go to New Babbage. I'm feeling it. New Babbage it is, folks. New Babbage hurt your eyes? You don't do very well with cold temperatures on your eyeballs? Honestly, I just like New Babbage because if, like, you would think there's a much heftier drug situation going on at Lorville. But Microtech's got the spices. Better believe it. Microtech's got a prolific drug trade. That's why they're all partying. That's why they have a gigantic bar club that's like the size of Lorville's spaceport. What you think they're doing when they go there? Think they're just dancing? You think these NPCs just dance? Okay, those spawn closets close, and they're wilding out behind the doors. NPCs love to do the wildest shit when humans aren't around. You wouldn't even believe it. All right. Well, this is very... Oh, yeah. Oof. Honestly, as a new player... Nah. I think as a new player, you should start at the hab the first time. This is weird. This is weird. If I'm starting a new character, I don't want to load in the hangar. Okay, so clearly we've got money. Do we have things? We might have stuff. Oh, we've got tons of stuff. Yeah, I've played on this account before. I guess persistence just works pretty well now. We're going to go ahead at this, though, like we are a new player. Wow. Yeah, look at that. We've got, like, alignment tools and stuff. So we've got a med pen. We've got our pistol. Arc light pistol. Let's see if we have any ammo for that. No. And money-wise, let's just clear ourselves of this right now. AAK, you got money coming in, my dude. I'm going to take us down to 25,000. Actually, no, it starts at 50,000 now. You get when you start the game? So I'm going to give away about 185,000 credits over to AAK. Close enough. Math is hard, especially when there's taxes involved. Ew. And we've got ourselves a starting character.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
We got our choice of two ships. The two starting ships. We're going to take an RSI Aurora to kick things off here. Oh, we can't. That's right. All right, first thing we need to do is get into chat and see if anybody has work for us. Let's see. Or we could see if there's anything. Let's see. Mainly just mercenary missions. You know what I would like to do is get out to an outpost in Pyro so I can start to just jump on people's ships without them knowing. All right, let's see if anybody's looking to help with some work out here in New Babbage. All right. We have put out our message for help. I am a hopeful contractor in a difficult market.
Welcome to the ASOC
But you know what?
vehicle
I've got my hat tucked in my pocket. I've got my cupboard stocked with noodles, and I'm ready for the long run. Anyone? Oh, look! Someone's interested in teaming up for ASD facilities. We could do some looting. Do we have a backpack? We don't even have armor. All right, let's see if we can get any armor and a backpack in New Babbage. What? Somebody's watching this stream. Somebody's watching the stream who just responded in the server. You can't do that. You can't call me Tomato. I'm not playing as Tomato.
Hi, and welcome to New... From all of us at Microtech, welcome to the New Babbage 87 Space.
Just got a missed fortune. It's pretty neat. Hey, dude, not bad. How'd you get it? Maybe they bought a nice fresh tomato from the newsstand. Yeah, like, so, you know, some people just say random words after their sentences. All right. We are going to the store.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Just sold an ASD set for 45 million. Why are people paying 45 million for that? Jesus. What? $45 million for a freaking set of armor in Star Citizen? Why does a console voice from Star Citizen sound similar to the PDA voice from Subnautica? She's just a very helpful person. Box said you should send him a friend request. Who's Box? The ADS set has a 1% drop rate. Right, but it also has like a above 1% chance of being out of your inventory in 2 weeks. I guess maybe it's easier to get 45 million than I would think, but what are the chances you still actually own that armor? I guess armor doesn't disappear as much. It's kind of interesting. I don't think it really is about everybody else making value for whatever's in the game. Like, if let's say they decided to randomly award the special armor to one faction from the resource drive, and that faction was not first place. Let's say instead it was ArcCorp. I think ArcCorp got last place, right?
Toes.
And suddenly you have 8% of the community who did ArcCorp gets the armor. Now it's up to the people to decide whether that armor is valuable or not. I think a lot of folks wouldn't really care about this. What is it called? What's the armor name? ASD. If other people didn't care about it. But because people care about it, other people want it. And so now it's becoming more of a thing in the game. CIG plays their cards right and keeps doing this with stuff just throughout the year, kind of. it could have a lot more interest in the game than I thought there might be. Okay, so we've got our armor. Oh, need to go somewhere to equip it. Excuse me? I did not get legs. Legs. All right, let me go equip my legs real quick. There we go. This is big armor for a big man. We're also just going to pretend we bought a multi-tool with a tractor beam. That obviously you can get that with 50k. We're not going to take anything else though. I'm really just not going to, I'm going to limit myself to anything we could have gotten with the funds we have right now. Turkey. Bjorn. Getting hooked up with a crew. And at least at the very least from this we'll be able to get some loot. You know, I think I'm probably only gonna stick to the no flying ships rule until we make, let's say, the first 500,000. Because at that point I do want to start to expand and actually get around to doing the things in this game. I think it's gonna limit us a little bit too much still to try and go without any ships. You look forward to a reliable player trading system? Hell yeah, man. You gotta do so much to trade stuff in the game right now. Player economy is developing finally with items not buyable at a terminal. Yeah, I guess we are starting to see a bit of a player economy popping up. That's nice. It's like they were scared of this happening. How about until you make enough to buy a ship? Well, I mean, I already have enough to rent a ship, right? But yeah, we can do until I'm well enough on my way to, at the very least, rent a ship that we can start making money with. I like that. Why am I not getting them? Bosrin. Let me see if I can find them on here. There we go. Pisces is only 515,000. Woo! Oh, beautiful. They are they're in the area. Rent a Pisces and do the intro mission for the resource drive 5 times. Come to Nubis. Let's roll.
Back it.
Got my pistol. Is it a normal thing to queue? Oh, I'm reading the wrong chat. If the money comes fast to buy the Scooby-Doo van, the Cutter Rambler. I actually do really like the Cuddy. Or the Cutter. I think that's a solid ship to run a couple of small cargo missions in. Money is way too easy. Don't say that. This is supposed to be a challenge. Is it the stream or the game is very stuttery? I was stuttering quite a bit in game. But the stream could also be stuttery. That's also a possibility. Hey folks, while I got you here, we are still running a giveaway right now for Star Citizen. A copy of the game if you're interested, but also a Wolf, an L-21 Wolf, the new light fighter. Pretty freaking cool ship. Looks kind of like a Naboo fighter to an extent. Really small, single person. In-game chat is funny. Really small, single person, bespoke weapons, but a lot of fun to fight with. Can get in the running, type in the point, type in exclamation point giveaway, and you can check out that link. If you're on Twitch, then you are getting extra points towards extra entries into the giveaway if you want to use those. And if you're on YouTube, bless your soul. I'm sorry, I don't have anything special for you, but bless you. If somebody else already brought up the giveaway, just use the link that was posted. Or, you know, stress the bot out. There goes another player. Oh, there goes another player. Pretty cool when you're just like flying past players flying about their day. You just never saw this back before server meshing. It's so cool.
Okay, hope you're ready to tackle this one. Just keep your head down and you should be able to get it sorted.
Whee! Whee! There's another player. Actually, that ship might have been empty. There's another. And another. And another. There's a lot of people at New Babbage, huh? Dang, when I'm out there at ArcCorp, there's never any players around, but there's just all these ships. Maybe they're abandoned. Is there a unique code? Oh, you're gonna have to ask Mrs. Tomato about that one. She'll hook you up. Also, if you guys didn't notice, Mrs. Tomato is starting to do some regular cooking streams. For those of you here on the American side of the world, that's going to be in your evenings. Not like super high energy, they're more just to kind of chill and see some good cooking and have a little bit of conversation. I'm generally chilling in chat, so if you guys want to come in and just like hang out, watch some cooking and talk, or what have you. This is the first step though in getting her to share her freaking cooking processes. Next is to get her to write a cookbook or a recipe book, because the food's too good. Hey, look, Lord of Daddies is in chat. Alright, nothing too crazy. This is what you would probably do if you were in your own ship as a starter. Just come on in here, meet up with your friends for a little get-together before you start your mission. Get in the ships that you need to get into. Make sure everyone's on the go. It's like if you thought of these space stations as like little outposts in a normal fantasy RPG. Or an MMO. You don't have to be there, but it's an easy landmark for everybody to stay at that's kind of safe. And then you get going on your own with whatever specialized character or vehicle or thing you need. We could reset our spawns here. Toes. Don't think we're going to though. Kazpondo, thanks for the sub, mate. Really appreciate you and your support. Make sure to check out the exclusive videos you just got access to, and also join us for the live podcast. Every supporter is allowed to hop into the live voice chat room whenever we're bringing in folks to the podcast. That includes literally any guest. We just had the developers from Jump Space in there recently, and that was a good time. I think that was actually... It's one of the least viewed episodes because it's not a Star Citizen episode, but it is, I think, one of the most insightful episodes because they shared a lot of information about their thought processes and how their game was put together. And they're making a fantastic game. And that's going to be a really fun one to jump into. I am very grateful for having that opportunity. How in the world did somebody get Space Cock Goblin okayed as a name in this game? How? Oh, there's another player flying. Another Pisces. Because male chicken? Well... Oh. Yeah. But like... You could also call yourself... Dirty Ass Goblin. Are they gonna say, oh, well... That's a donkey. Donkey! What's up, Horrorlux? First time chatter. I'm very sorry this is when you got thrown into the chat for the first time, but thank you for coming through. Mostly lurker, but I take time to say hi sometimes. Thank you for saying hello. Thanks for watching. Thanks for lurking. Lurking's great. Appreciate the lurk. It's not clear, so they can give the benefit of the doubt. Oof. Careful with that one, CIG. The most important feature we need in the game is naming ships. USS Cock Goblin would be awesome. Yeah, and male chicken. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, CIG, if I call my Cutlass Blue the Cock Wrangler? I just chased down male chickens, dude. Nothing wrong with that. It's ambiguous. You've been watching your YouTube videos for a long time. Love your style. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Glad you enjoy the videos. Stream is a little bit more heinous. Not gonna lie. It's a little more slapstick. Slapstick? That's the thing, right? Where does slapstick even come from? Is that to define the stick itself? It is a slapstick? Or is it to define an action that is done to said stick? I'm gonna slap the stick. Subroutine. Sorry for stupid question, but are elevators working this current patch? I want to dip my toes again in some Star Citizen. Yeah, I haven't had any problems with elevators. If you mean freight elevators, I do believe they are working. You gave your reclaimer a funny name because of a recommendation, and what's the reclaimer's name? device known as the Bataccio, or Batacchio, which was called the slapstick. This device consisted of 2 thin wooden slats that produced a loud comical slap sound when struck together, often against an actor's body. All right, cool. Cool. Now we get to have a little library day here in the Space Tomato Monday chat. The long haul down to these facilities, it is a little bit annoying that you can't just fly straight to these facilities, but it's also, it's a nice little defense mechanism, making sure they don't get too crowded. Do you know of anything that CIG has stated to fix the state of turrets or multi-crew gameplay? Multi-crew is going to depend a lot on engineering, the permission system, ownership system, that kind of stuff. Turret stuff, I don't recall anything they've said recently. Other than that, they recognize that turrets need to be better. The Reclaimer's name was the Size Queen. Ambiguous, but mainly a nudge towards it being able to scrape and munch all the ships in the game at the same time. Ah. A little more ambiguous than Cock Goblin, I would say. Not far off, though. Northern Tech Hermit. Good to see you. What was my starter ship in this Zero to Hero run? I don't have a ship. I'm starting without a ship. I get to ride along on other people's ships. Yeah, you are right. You can fly to the subsequent Onyx facilities afterward. What's we waiting for? Are we desynced? Are we having a server error right now? I literally said I will work for food and monies, yes. And now here we are, in the back of a Cutlass, with no windows, no food, and no real defense except for a pistol with 1 magazine. Just an average Monday in Star Citizen. I keep forgetting that we're in a free fly right now. That's saying something for CIG's back end. Toes. So many toes in the chat right now. Zector, thank you for the Prime sub, mate. Appreciate your support over here on Twitch. Hope you're having a good day. Enjoying the stream. You hope CIG announces next year will be the year of features. I'm hoping that CIG just gets us to the point where they can run the ePTU alongside the PU, get rid of Evocati, and just start having an experimental branch that always has the newest stuff in it in the ePTU. Basically take on a model like what Satisfactory was doing. I don't know if they can do that, but I hope that's where they go. Somebody asked how I'm feeling about CitizenCon. I don't know, man. I'm mixed. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that they're going to have something good. I don't really care what they show. I'm more caring of what they announce. And I don't think anybody really wants to hear any announcements that aren't geared towards early next year at this point. Or next year, or late next year at the latest. All right, we're here with the crew. About to go get some loot. Maybe a little bit of payment. And fun. What is your most anticipated feature that doesn't get talked about a lot? Data running. Data as a commodity. They don't even have to get rid of Evo. Just get rid of the NDA process. Just make it part of the normal layout. Just start launching features in a better state for testing so that they don't have to have an NDA anymore. Okay. We'll always needed to have a selected test group. Sure, but PTU is a selected test group. They could just keep EVA as its normal, or EVO as its normal first wave of PTU. Just remove the confusing NDA language.
You rock. You know that?
Yo, Billups! Coming through here with the support today, huh? All we know about CitizenCon is that they are announcing base building PTU release. I hope they don't announce anything new, just give us updates. Where did you get they were announcing the PTU release of base building? Proximity chat does kind of work in game, but it's still a little hit or miss. Dang it. Let the looting begin. They announced it at a recent Bar Citizen. Did they announce it, or is it somebody creating a rumor? Alright, we got a real gun now. Our first. Now we can actually start to pew-pew people. You know, I'm going to grab a shotgun as well. I'm a bit of a shotgun kind of guy. And who doesn't like an R97? Evo is essentially their third-party QA, only instead of industry standard third-party contractors, it's volunteer. No, I'm not saying get rid of Evo as in don't have them exist anymore. I'm saying get rid of the format for Evo. Allow it to still do exactly what it does. Just don't confuse it, don't mix it up, don't create extra complications with an NDA and this whole idea that it needs to be a secret compared to the rest of PTU. So then we have two things. We have the PU, and then we have the ePTU. It's rumor. Dan Halbrick said it. CIG saying anything like that is a little traumatizing, not gonna lie. Can you guys hear me over proximity? Dude, I'm pretty sure that guy had a prism. Oh, no, it's a quartz. I mean, I'll take it. Might as well, right? Loot City out here. Hell yeah, this guy's got stuff on him. Okay, maybe not. Just looked like it. He looks really well equipped, but he's just faking it. One of those guys that has all the coolest armor, but none of the gear to go with it. Ooh, a Pico Ball. There's another one down here. Whoop. Love a shotgun. And they're all carrying it too. R97's a great shotgun to have down here because just never-ending ammo. P4s and R97s for the win. Do I think they could do a new Crusader or Origin ship anytime soon? I'm gonna defer you to management. I don't think we have any prepared statements to make at this time. No, to be honest, I think that both of those companies are kind of on the back burner right now. I think they're really focusing on some of the smallers, like Mirai and Kruger, a little bit of Argo, Grey Cat. We'll circle back around though. Kruger is the carrying company. And there isn't much to do besides shoot things and carry things in the game right now, so maybe we'll get a little surprise. You can hear me over proximity whenever I talk. Ow! What a dick. Honestly, those shots looked and sounded cool. What the hell was he shooting? Holy shit, this thing sounds awesome when it's shooting at you. I want it. That was literally, it sounded like I was getting shot by like a Star Wars blaster rifle. You guys doing some butt touching over here? Trying to get that Xenor the teenage witch, or whatever it was. Yeah, Gaming Monday, Nerfly. It's a rare one, but there's not that much news to go through. I didn't want to stretch it out for you guys. Figured, why don't we just get started on something this week? Been waiting to do a 0 to hero for a long time. After they basically confirmed the 600i rework was abandoned for the next 2 years, they better not dare do anything Origin until then. Oh, but it's CIG, my friend. Ooh, a P8. I'm just gonna take this because I need a P8 at all times. What the? Put it in your backpack. Can never go wrong having a P8 on hand. I didn't say I don't believe they could announce base building at CitizenCon. What's up, Shemp? Anyone know which ship's currently winning in the ship showdown? I'm going to hazard a guess the Polaris. It's a possibility. Shempasta, thank you for the kind words, dude. Thanks for watching the videos. Alright, we gotta keep going down, I guess. Polaris is up about 1,000 votes. That's actually not as much as I would have thought. Dude, this gun hits so well. Being on the receiving end of this gun is also really cool. Alright, I'm gonna trade a shotgun for this just because it's... I mean, we can find shotguns more easily. And I could just shove it in my backpack. You can't shove a sniper in your backpack. So, the new fancy gun. Another new fancy gun. And need for more ammo. Ship Showdown is sad at this point. It's basically built for contrarians with too much time on their hands. Ain't that what this all is for? I have far too much time on my hands for Star Citizen. Oh, the seismic data is right there. Put the blade thing in the stuff. You gotta transfer the seismic data to the thing. Do I feel CitizenCon will just be a 2 hours fireside chat with Benoit? No, I think I hope they're going to do that beforehand.
Looking for? Get out of there and take it to the drop-off.
All right. See, now at least with this one, they tell us we have to go drop something off. We're not leaving for no reason. Dr. Gus, thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Thanks for your support on Twitch. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Time to go all the way around and get out of the location. Can't not loot. Gotta get the pickles. Gotta pick up the pickles, dude. Get ready for puppies. Y'all ready to fight some pups? Oop. Oop. Oh, he hit me off. He freaking hit me off. Whoop. Ah. Nope. Pull your gun back out. Don't stab yourself again, buddy. Unlimited power is what I like to call it. Alright, I'm definitely going to get some of these horns. These are actually useful for crafting, for, well, we don't have crafting yet, but for turning things in to be crafted for you. Why kill this poor space dog? Poor space dog is gonna kill me. It's funny how you could just jump down this room. You don't actually have to go all the way through all this. Can I put a backpack in my backpack? If you switch backpacks, do they let you, they don't. Ah, man. Oh well. The secret code for the giveaway. Is Mrs. Tomato in chat? Should be in chat. We need a code, Mrs. T. We're codeless. We're codeless swine. Oh, I didn't know you could get up to level 8 from here. It's a little back entrance, huh? What? I was not aware. Oh man, I think Boz went to the elevator. Ooh, a pulse. Definitely gonna nab that. Ow! Ooh, you also have a pulse. You additionally have a pulse. Alright, one of our boys is lost. Let's go get him. The location's actually, if you haven't been in here before, it's easy to get turned around. What's the giveaway? It's for a wolf and a copy of Star Citizen. Wait, where's the door over here? All right. Yep, went to the elevator. Oh, he didn't follow me. Wait, go down the elevator shaft. Down the I thought he was right behind me. Oh, crap. I do not. Whoop. There we go. All right. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go. All right, I left with 6 bullets left. Not bad. I didn't completely lose all of my ammo, and we got several weapons from that, guys. Pretty solid first loot run. We got almost all of the Volt weapons. We missed out on the Prism. Yeah, the Prism. But we got the Pulse, the Parallax, the Quartz, and the Zenith. We got an R97, a P8, and ammo for all of those. And some horns. Not bad. Not bad. Downloading the game for the first time for the free fly. It looks fun. Best of luck to you, Zector. I must ask, do you know what you're getting into? You know the problems with the game? Plenty of goods, just want to make sure you know the bads. Yeah, you can put weapons in your backpack. Everything except for the larger weapons like snipers and power guns. Toes. That's why you sample before you buy. True, he's getting in for the free fly. All right. Let's roll. What is that? Oh, I think that's the ASD backpack. It's weird though because some of the silhouettes from Last Citizen Con are that big. The weird Drake thing is as tall as a Carrack but not long. Yeah. We've got weird ships that are in the pipeline right now. But they don't reveal ships anymore until they're actually done. Help? Stand still. Yeah, medbed. Over here. You've heard there's lots of bugs and glitches, but it does look fun to try out. There certainly are, but you are getting in for free, so you'll get a chance to see kind of what there is without having to buy in. Honestly, pretty simple running these kinds of things with random people. This was super easy, and we had no problems whatsoever. You had a full day with over 20 server frames. Full day, like, how many hours is a full day? Toes! white paint job on the Cuddy. This looks like the... Is this executive? I don't know. You don't think they need to anymore now that they're sustainably solvent without concept sales? Yeah, agreed. They've been working towards it. Good moment for them, though. Not one that's being focused on too much. I think I might make a video about it. $7 nice. It's the best in show skin. I thought it might be, but I wasn't sure if they ever did a white and yellow theme for it. Looks good. It's gold. Yellow, gold, black, gray. Scam citizen is officially dead. Man, I got to see the full-on hyperbole of people who aren't very happy with this game again. Why is there no background to the chat? Somebody was on this subreddit saying that Star Citizen had nothing to offer except for the ships. Like, I get this stuff, a lot of the stuff that's in game is just not incredibly deep. Not as deep as it should be at this point. But holy lordy. Just to say that there's literally nothing in the game at this point is so ridiculous. Let's see. I think this should fix. Adds a little opacity to the chat, I think. What the heck just happened to chat? Oh, right. Chat's coming from the bottom now. Wait, that wasn't supposed to happen yet. Oh, that's really freaking confusing. Sorry, let me change that. That shouldn't be. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. PC exclamation point kit, I believe will make it pop up. We need to change that command on the stream to specs. I'm sorry about that. In fact, let me write that in here. You get a little real engagement when you play SC on less messing about with friends. You feel little real engagement. Still patient though because it has improved since you started in 2023. Yeah, I think this makes for a very good streaming game because honestly, there's a lot of time to talk. Still definitely waiting for some depth. They're sending concept sales, so the scam is dead because rage bait. I get it. Yeah, the scam is dead. Obviously. Clearly dead. All right, we're going to turn in some of these weapons we got so we can start to stockpile. We'll keep some of the horns. Definitely the pickles. Keeping the pickles for sure. We're going to keep a pulse on us, but turn those in as well. Turn in the prism ammo. P8 ammo's gone. R97 ammo. We can keep that actually. If we're going to take out a couple weapons to use, we'll take out the R97 and the P8. Keep our med pens. R97 ammo, all the valuable stuff that we're going to keep at home. And then we're going to go out and run some more. That was a solid first loot run. Just testing out our ability to jump in with some others. We're going to continue on this new player run, this roots to riches, whatever you want to call it. And this is going to be kind of how we do it up until we can afford to get another ship ourselves. And I think I didn't really make any money there. I think he still, did he turn it in? I don't know if he turned in the data or not, but we got to keep doing this, making some loot, getting some goods, and eventually working our way up to buying our own ship so we could start to really get started in the game. But for now, there's episode 1. You need Castra. Well, I'm gonna keep going, guys. That was just for the video. Huh. I didn't get this completed. How you feeling about Star Citizen these days? Pretty solid. They're doing some good things. I really hope we can get EPTU usage soon. Hey, for those who are looking for the secret code for the giveaway, there it is. It's in chat now. Yeah, it's just not completing this mission for some reason. All right, we'll do the next mission. I don't know why this one's not finishing up. You'd love to see more crafting in the game. How far out is the base stuff? No idea. Some people are saying that the base stuff is gonna be announced at CitizenCon. I don't know about that. Apparently it's something coming out of a bar citizen. Who knows? I think we'll see it in the next 6 to 8 months, but
You rock. You know that?
I don't know if it's gonna be this year. Billups! Thank you for the super chat, my friend. What do I think the new medical features will be? Honestly, I don't have any real expectations. I don't know what the heck they, like, I don't know what kind of caliber of update they even want to do to the gameplay. I don't know when it's going to come. I need to rewatch that again and get a better, clear idea of what exactly it is they're saying might even happen with the release of the Apollo. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. Thank you for the super chat, dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Waybreaker, you said 100% this year? I hope so. Stengun, thank you for the Prime sub. Darth Mullen. Yo, thank you for the 11 months now you've been subbed up. One more month, and we got a whole year. That's like a baby and then some. For Twitch, specifically for Twitch. Thanks for the support. You as well, Stengun. 13 months been subbed up. I wonder when we will hear about the bartender tech again. Bartender's moved away. He is now bartending in Fiji. He no longer wants to be involved with this endeavor. You hope they at least shake things up with some specialized med gear. Look, they're gonna need to make it so that the whole drug thing is a little bit more important. And the auto button doesn't just automatically fix everything. How'd you get white and gold paint for your cutlass? This is not my ship. I believe this is a skin that was gotten at one of the yearly events, IAE, possibly. Back in 2019 or 2020. I have never seen this skin on this ship before. Oh, that's not a skin, huh? That's the whole dang ship? You can't make it look like the grungy Drake default? '20 best in show, okay. The BIS, the BIS. Toes! Played a lot of Warframe, a lot of white and gold in Warframe.
Okay, hope you're ready to
I think he's in the Moby Glass on his
keep your head down and you should be able to get it sorted.
Is that somebody taking the old raft out? Oh, is that another raft? I believe it is. Look at all these rafts out here, yet it can't win a simple single round of the ship showdown. How sad is that? Yeah, people really used the raft and then just left it off to rot. So much love for it in the time when it did not matter. On ATC, there are a lot of people with good ideas about medical gameplay. There's a lot of really good good motivation in the community to see some good things. What the heck is CIG gonna do though? The raft literally worked its ass off for people. Can you guys hear me on proximity? Voice chat? It would be so cool if the raft could just drop cargo when it lands, instead of having to be pulled off. It's kind of what it seems like was supposed to happen with the whole crane thing, and then they were like, that's too hard. I think if they really play with the injuries and with your ability to mitigate injuries, that could make for some really easy, in-depth medical gameplay. They just have to figure out a way to make it so that it's not always required that it's in-depth, but it is at some points. I'll be right back, folks.
You rock. You know that?
Thank you. Thank you very much. 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 All right, I got some water. The water. And what happened? Who did something?
Thank you very much.
Fola. The absolute only Fola dropping 10 memberships while I'm gone. What a big man move. Slightly mischievous of you. Thank you for the support, dude. Thanks for dropping in with the memberships and giving a whole bunch of more people access to that exclusive video.
Thank you very much.
That just came out 2 days ago, and the live podcasts. Guys, we're going to be away for a couple of weeks coming up here shortly. So I'm actually going to be front loading on content and podcasts, and all of that will be available to supporters beforehand. So you'll probably have like 4 podcasts in the next couple of weeks to get access to because of that, as well as obviously the new exclusive that came out a couple days ago. Check it out. It's on the front page of the YouTube channel. Thank you, Frank. Mr. Frank Wayand. Frank Way and T Jr. Not sure where the spaces are there, but I appreciate your support nonetheless on YouTube as well. Chair stream moves you? Yeah, Chair keeps telling me that I should just ditch on the streaming and let him take over. I keep saying no, but you guys are proving him kind of right. It's rude. All right, we're now on the other side of this facility, this time in the engineering section. And we already have more pulses available to us, so we're going to take those. So you're a sub, you haven't been able to figure out how to access that exclusive content. Just links you to a video on YouTube saying I need to be a member on there. If you... Holy crap. Hold on a second. All right, so to access it as a Twitch supporter, you have to go to the Discord channel or to our Discord server and connect your Twitch account on Discord. Yeah, access to the OnlyFans. Exactly. Have I played Empyrean Galactic Survival? Yes. I played it for a little while back in probably like 2021. It's been a while. Ow! Ah, crap. I'm down. I was not prepared for that. I'm down in the corner. Only toes. Yeah, we're in an Onyx facility right now. I need more P8 ammo. You got any P8 ammo, buddy? No? Alright, I'm just gonna use the pulse. How about you? P8? Nope. Okay. What about you, guy? Whoa! What the hell? Nope. Just another pulse. Aye, radiation. Oh, he took too much radiation up there. Come on. Not like my backpack is full. It's weird. Okay. Did I build a Corvette in No Man's Sky yet? Yes, a very bad one. It's a very, very ugly ship. You actually get a chance to see it a little bit in the video I made where I'm building it, and it's just like the most ugly thing you've ever seen. So proud of it. Dude, I'm getting so many pulses out here, they're not even rare anymore. Just like the most popular pistol in the game. Everybody down here has a pulse. You keep falling through the floor in the Onyx facilities? They don't. They're dead. You're right. You know what? Good job, man. That was top class. Top fucking class, man. I don't know who taught you in the field and profession of comedy, but you clearly practice vigorously. Only fans with toes? You fan the toes. You keep them cool. Can't get sweaty toes, dude. Nobody likes sweaty toe pics. Please, guys, don't take that kind of stuff seriously, by the way. I'm totally joking. Some people about to think that there's an actual thing with toes here. All right. Let's continue. I already told everybody, you get the free toes pictures every 10th leap year on Patreon. Got your Twitch link to Discord? Cool. Now if you go to our Discord server, you'll see a High Garden section. There's a channel called Supporter Alerts, and you will find everything that you have ever been given access to in there. No toes, guess I'll head out there. Oh, I mean, you know, there's got to be a teaser or two, right? Sheesh. I'm almost completely out of ammo. There's so much P4. A lot of talk about dedicated medical backpacks too, which you really like. Sacrifice your inner loot goblin to play that specialist role. Yeah, but what would you carry in the medical backpack that couldn't be carried elsewhere? Like, they definitely need to figure out a way for certain types of armor to carry certain types of thing in higher qualities. Like, the engineering stuff should carry more fuses. The combat focused stuff should carry more ammo. But it's kind of ridiculous for them to say... It's kind of ridiculous for them to then come up with multiple different ways to carry stuff. That's getting a little too deep into the woods. Hope I don't take radiation right here. Still so ridiculous trying to like manage your inventory like this. The goo, just a whole bunch of medical goo. Like a camelback, but for med goo. Med juice. We calling it juice or we calling it goo? Because I kind of like juice. Yeah, you could do a dedicated tractor beam backpack. Just a backpack with a giant battery in it. Okay, I almost did not make that one. Whoa, did we just get double tapped? Life juice. Ooh. Oh, yes. More life in your juice. Need a couple more pistols. How many do I have? Oh my god. Come down to the Pistol Emporium. Get your pistols. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. The bag should allow them to treat tier 3 injuries. Tier 1 injuries, you mean, I think. The more serious ones, right? Why you like the idea of levels like med pen, med gun, med rifle? Yeah, I mean... You would think that... What the hell? Let me out! You'd think they would have set it up that way initially. I love how we were supposed to finish one mission and we're just like all the way in here. Come back. Why? Come over here. All right. Inside to the left. Downward. Exit, I think. All right. Let's make a run over there. Ow. Aye. Shoot. Oh, I just got hit by a ton of radiation. Alright, I think I should probably get the rad suit. That's useful loot. Alright, once this burst goes off, we're gonna go back up. Back up, don't go. Alright. Wait for it. Alright. Back inside. Is there an easy way to switch armors over? I know that there's supposed to be, but I don't know if it actually works. There's our exit. See, I love if I could just, boom, pop it on like that. But it doesn't really work like that, does it? See, it's so ridiculous how you have to just unequip everything like this just to put that on. But at least we get some rad armor now whenever we do come to places like this. God dang it. Yeah, I should have just dragged the armor behind the thing. God. Oh boy, do they know I'm down. I'm so screwed if I get... And I got hit by another blast. Well, at this point... Okay, don't get me up until... Don't get me up yet, don't get me up yet. The radiation had already passed by the time I ran out there. God dang it. No, was it not done yet? Gotta count to 4. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I think I'm done for here. No, I'm just gonna die again. Yeah. The after effect of the blast. Gotcha. Oh my god. Oi. Toads. I can't even read chat. Toes. Oh my god. How ridiculous. Oh my god, come on. Just put on, please put on the backpack. Thank you. Equip this. Equip this. Equip these. No. Equip the medical multi-tool. Come on, pick it up. Okay. Let's go. Oh, I'm extremely messed up. I'm like basically blind. At least I can EVA. Oi. Okay. Can I not move? I can't run. Medical gameplay, y'all. Any med beds in here that actually work? Probably not. Nope. Well, at least we can walk. Can I read the chat in the Mobiglass? Like, barely. I can kind of tell what it says, but not really. On your way to get the radiation armor so you have a better chance of doing Onyx. Yeah, the armor I had on actually had decent radiation protection, but this main one will definitely get you through it much better. Toes! I also keep blinking my eyes. I like just thinking I can maybe wipe away this from my eyeballs. All you have left of Onyx is the last one. Is that the one that has you going to the engineering section in the back there? Can you actually complete that yet? It's inside my eyeballs. This is true. If I could just wipe my eyeballs off then. Get me healthy. Help me, please. Severe head injury, severe torso injury. Which is not a good time. You do Onyx with 0 radiation protection? Yeah, that didn't work out for me. Woohoo! We're good. We're good. Did I run into a beam? Yes, that beam was called several doses of lethal radiation. The microwave beam. Microwave beam to the head. Yeah, some would call it a good high. Uh-oh. Is ship damaged? Don't start sticking your heads in the microwave to see if you get high. It was a good time, dude. You really gonna hate on me for trying it again? If you get hit with enough radiation, you become a Valakar. I don't know about that, but I heard you can become a Hurston. It is possible. You wear a light armor over an invis undersuit and clothes glitched over. It overrides your radiation protection to 0 like you were naked. Why? For the extra challenge? Good old Cuddy Black with a bunch of damage on it, yeah. For the drip. Oh, because it lets you play in clothing instead of armor. Maybe if they could just hit us with that Starware so we could actually do that. That would be great! Gotta look good if you're doing good work. Looking good, working good, feeling good. Your lore is that you're an android probably because you do just have your toe beans out in deep space. Toe beans is a new one. Is that a drug? Sounds like a drug for sale. Alright, what did we even... I don't think I really picked too much up this time, just a whole bunch of pistols. I don't think I got very diversified loot for this run. Yeah, just a bunch of pulse pistols. You know, sometimes you have a problem. At least now my character has a whole bunch of pistols to go out and get even more involved. I don't know where. I don't know where this character is going to go. I'm willing to see it out that he becomes very rich and successful in Stanton and does whatever he needs to get there. Obviously, we're ending this session off without a ship of our own, so we will have to start next session still working for others. And you know, I don't think we really made too much money. No, we still are at the same amount of money. So, can't say we did all that much this time. But at least we got to play. Onyx can be done with no rad protection. Absolutely. 'Tis possible. Sell some of the 80 pulse pistols you nabbed. Nobody's buying, man. I put them up for sale in our Discord, and nobody even tried to negotiate me down. I am working on trying to find more people interested in that kind of gameplay to join GII, because right now, it's very, very quiet on the GII market. Like whisper quiet. We made it! Oh, to NPCs? No, I haven't done that. I will be selling loot, but I feel like I don't have enough yet to validate it. Pistols and forever glowing complexion. a radiating complexion, we'll call it. All right, let's turn in all the pistols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pulse pistols. Call it 9. I'm also just going to turn in this whole undersuit, actually, and the backpack. So that's our loot for the day. First run complete. Not bad. Not bad at all. And this week in Star Citizen is not out yet. What do you know? Toes. Oh, we just got mission complete. Does that mean I got paid? We made our first money of the day too. We doubled our money. Actually, no, we didn't. We started with 50K. So we made 2,000 credits today, guys. Good job. With tier 0, nothing but the rarest drip is worth anything, and I'm not getting rare drip. Believe that. I wish I may work towards it at some point, but it's honestly, it's not really all that worth it to me yet. And you're right. Most people aren't trying to buy stuff anyways. It's all just for fun right now. People will pay millions for one piece. Yeah, somebody just said that they sold the ASD backpack for 42 million, I think. Kind of crazy. Grind that ASD armor and you will be a multimillionaire this playthrough. As a new player, that's what you should do. Spend all your time trying to get the ASD Geist armor. That won't make you hate yourself at all. Well, maybe one of these days when we're back on the main account, I think I'll probably do one of these new player editions, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. When we're back on the main account, we'll do some grinding in ASD. You had your core armor, backpacks, and weapons disappear last night, 2 of us. Was it ASD? You had ASD armor just disappear off your back? You sold a helmet for 3 million a couple patches back. Jesus. I'm out here just trying to sell my guns for like 100,000 credits. It's nothing. It's small fries game. So they haven't put out this week in Star Citizen, which is honestly, it's not weird with them. It's not really on a schedule. But I am waiting to see if they have anything planned for a Star Citizen Live this week. I think we've been now 2 weeks without anything. If I'm not mistaken, any sort of releases from them. Yeah, they had the Q&A 2 weeks ago, and before that they had the Inside Star Citizen the week before that. So they haven't done anything really in like 2 weeks. I'm guessing they must have something planned for Star Citizen Live this week. They've been meaning to get Benoit on. Then again, how often do they do a Star Citizen Live twice in a row? I don't think they've done that at all this year. So it's probably going to be an Inside Star Citizen that we get this week, and it'll probably be something... Who knows? Who knows what they would cover? Maybe the Apollo. Maybe they start the Apollo marketing rush right now. Jared said it was going to be a couple weeks. Wasn't that a couple weeks ago, though? Wasn't the Squadron 42 newsletter supposed to come out in August? Don't they have one every month? I actually don't know how the newsletter works. Pretty frustrating, honestly. The silence? The low amount of updates we get now? It is, dude. Really, the only thing to look forward to in terms of talk of features and stuff is the monthly report. It has basically wiped out how I normally make content, which has been quite interesting trying to adapt to this year after that. It's certainly been up and down. Yeah, I don't know if they plan on picking things up again from here. You understand they shifted priorities, but man, it kind of feels personal. Feels like they're like, yeah, players, suck it. You don't get any. You didn't like the info you were getting before? You're not getting any now. Tis the way it is, though. The game now speaks for itself. Or at least that's what they're hoping happens. I can't say it's like gonna or it's not gonna. So I'm thinking about doing a video covering the no more concept ships.
John said.
Thing that came up in this Star Citizen Live. Would you guys be interested in that? Is what they were saying.
This is about drones, so that's what I was asking about time for. Are we done with concept ships? Have we done a concept ship this year?
We've
haven't.
not done one this year. No, we're not going to do one this year, unless something manic happens in the next few months. But yeah,
I was going to say we've only got 4 months. We can't whip up a new concept that fast. So no, this 2025 will end up.
Yeah,
2025 will end up being our first year without a single concept ship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something we've talked about, I think, loosely on various shows, that we ultimately want to move away from concept ships entirely and just go straight to here's the thing.
Just to be clear, we'll still be concepting ships. We just won't be showing them externally.
We won't be releasing them as
Imagine
concepts.
they just changed the whole way.
We're trying really.
The whole way they make concept ships, and they're just like, we're skipping the whole concept phase. There is no it's just going to be a ship right there, released. Boom, it's done.
Hard. We made a big
Sorry
effort.
to the concept artists watching this who are now on the floor.
Yes, there's still an absolutely essential part.
Paladin
of the
was.
it's just that we made this initiative last year.
2 IAEs ago, I think.
Try to
Last
make
Invictus
everything
week,
flight
maybe?
ready. Just to move to flight ready, and we did last year. I think we only had 2 concept promotions last year. I think it's taken us a while.
Yeah, Ironclad and
technically the Starlancer attack variant was concept and stuff like this, but we tried. We're trying really hard, and this year we've succeeded. That said, as I'm thinking about it right now, if you go all the way back to our original crowdfunding campaign, I'm talking about the original stretch goals. I think we're still on the hook for a battle cruiser at some point, which will
that's what got the big headlines. But honestly, I think the idea of moving away from concept sales is really the important thing here. It does beg the question, though, are they going to focus on old ships, or are they still going to focus on new ships? Because if they're still focusing on new ships mainly, that kind of continues the problem that people still had with the concept ships. Like, no concepts is really good in terms of your optics, and especially for people outside of the community, that just takes away a really big, easy one-liner kind of, oh, they sell JPEGs sort of thing. And it's now, oh, they just release ships in the game, but you still pay money for them. Obviously, there's still that caveat. But if they're releasing ships into the game rather than like working on the ships that, still have to be released to the game that were sold, that's not that much better. In fact, that's even worse. Oh, we're not going to do concept ships anymore, but also the concepts you paid for are also not getting done. Those all depend on gameplay. But it sounds like if we're actually hitting 1.0 by 28, which I don't think we are, but if he wants to, then they have some kind of a timeline that shows them getting these ships into the game with their gameplay by 2028. Is that true? I kind of doubt it. But we'll keep track of it and keep watching it as it goes. Did they say why no concept ships? They could still get feedback without selling concepts, though, couldn't they? I think the amount of work they do with the concepts, by the time it's in concept, it's already white box anyways. So if they wanted to, I guess they could show stuff early then. But I think they're at the point where they don't really want as much of that feedback anymore. They just want to get their work done in a more traditional sense. They can work on the concept ships that have already worked on and continue to work on the ones they already had some meat on them built out. They can do both. That they can. At SitCon this year, they're just gonna flip the whole script, be like, okay, we're out, we're done. There's very little upside to concept ships. Why do you say that? You think people are less and less willing to buy them nowadays than they were used to be?
Probably be the biggest ship in the game. Are we still going to do that?
Yeah, it's looking really, really cool with the progress we've made on it so far. So I think the battle cruiser, on paper, it's.
I love how they just casually mention that they're actually working on it too. That's kind of funny. So they do have pretty far out plans, it seems, at least on the ship team.
It's a big old ship, and we are. I hope I'm allowed to say this. We're in very early stages of kind of our concept work on the battle cruiser at the moment. Too late, Jared. Sorry.
We're going for it now.
We have to do it. I mean, that's fine. It's not coming this year. It's not coming anytime soon. Okay, so just don't want to get anybody's hopes up or anything.
It's one of it's a big ship. It needs a bunch of concepts to get it right. Super happy with where it's going so far. I think it allows us to take a lot of the things that we've learned on our existing kind of ships and our larger ships and kind of wrap them into a big powerhouse and deliver.
So PK, you're saying they're stepping a little bit out of the psychology game with this, huh?
Firepower, but what we can deliver from a ship this size with everything that we know now. So
yeah, it's unlike any of our existing capital ships. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Or it will be, because you're still working on it.
Yeah.
Right. Just I backdoored into a subject here. Let's just be real clear. Trying really hard not to do concept ships anymore. 2025 looks like it's going to be, again, it would be impossible to launch a new concept at this point. So our first year without concept sales. We don't want to do any more concept promotions ever again. We might have to do our last one for the Battlecruiser whenever that comes.
This is sort of like the whole "we're not wiping anymore" thing. He says we don't want to do any more concept promotions. Maybe the last one's just the Battlecruiser. I think they could absolutely do that. But I would still put this in that same category of like, they also don't want to do any wipes anymore. Maybe I won't put it in that category. That is the sort of, he explicitly said, if we do need to, we will do a wipe, but we don't want to. Here, it sounds more like we don't want to, therefore we're not really going to, unless we're absolutely forced. And like we're bleeding money and we need to sell pictures or something like that.
And whatnot. But this is an exciting kind of big shift in our ships. We're flight ready or bust. Get the old ones that we need to deliver done, make new ones flight ready, and try to avoid concept promotions whenever possible. But realistically, if a Battlecruiser is as big as you're going to say it is, we'll probably have to do that one as a concept at some point. But we'll...
Dude, I bet they would love to take some of these ships off of the backlog, the concepts. Yeah, or at the very least redesign them to work a different way. I bet there are ships in-game they'd love to redesign to work a different way. That's the problem with selling assets that depend on features that you haven't made yet. And that's a problem that they're going to have to figure out how to get around a lot with this game's development. I think it's also a transition to actual sales rather than pledges with the release of Squadron 42. Yeah, they're definitely transitioning more to normal ways of making money. Am I a tomato or a tomato? Whatever you'd like, friend. MGL, good to see you, dude. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up for you guys today. Nice little day of gameplay and a little bit of chatting, which means that we'll probably do a little bit more chatting on Wednesday. I'm going to try and slip in a couple extra streams for you guys this week, so keep an eye out for me on tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. I will be back on Wednesday, probably with some gameplay. Might do some No Man's Sky. We'll have to see. But definitely going to start it off with some chatting with you guys. Looking at news, looking at things going on. Have they done this week yet? This week in Star Citizen? I don't know what they're waiting for. Thank you. Thank you very much. Usually comes out at 10 p.m. UTC, which would be 12. What is that? Is that 2 p.m. over here? 1 p.m. over here? Okay, so I might be a little bit early. I'll put it out later. I'll get that one out for you guys sometime in the next 24 hours. Keep an eye out for it. Whoa, Cuban! Oh, shit. Wait, old Abs. My man Abs came in here with the 19 months subbed up. And Cuban, to finish us off, throwing down another 10 subs, dude. Boosted us up to 20 freaking subs today. You know what? I would say Mrs. Tomato would probably end the giveaway just because of that. The Cuban giveaway, we'd call it. But I think we're doing it for the Streamathon on Friday. If you guys would love to come and join, we'd be happy to see you. I will probably be doing 12 hours straight of Star Citizen. Might throw in a little bit of some other games in there. Maybe a little No Man's Sky if it calls for it. But the goal on Friday, starting at our normal time, is to fully give away a few ships, of course. Have a couple tomato tortures. I'll be eating some weird things. If you go to the Discord server on general voice or just the general text chat, you can actually make some suggestions as to what weird things I have to do for the Streamathon this Friday. Either way, I'm happy to do a little bit of entertaining for you guys. We will be pushing to fund our CitizenCon watch party. As I've been mentioning, you guys are free to help fund that if you would like. The Discord server has plenty of information. There is a QR code there. ! Fund will make the command pop up on the chat right now during the stream. Nothing is obligatory, it's not required, but we are trying to do a community event for our garden, for our people, where we all get together and watch CitizenCon in a private venue in San Francisco on the day of. And we really appreciate any help you guys want into making sure that happens. But this Streamathon this week is going to be all about that. We're going to try and hit our goals and put all of that towards making sure this event can happen so that we can all get together and chill, have a good time. And the further we can get on that, the more we can invest into having an actual stream there on site so you guys can join even if you're not able to come in person. Sounds like fun. Well, thank you, Cubint, for helping us with the other part of just living. Sketchy, thanks for dropping by, dude. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Toes! I'm gonna drop y'all with Bognagus this time. You guys have a grand old day. Enjoy your Mondays, folks. Treat yourselves well. Do good stuff for yourself. Eat something you love. Give somebody a hug, a love. You know, all the good things. You great people. You deserve some good things. I hope you have a great time over there with Bognagus. Drop the toes for me. Let them know where you came from. Yeah, we will have a stream on site. We'll make it happen. Drop the toes in the chat. Make him happy about the raid. Go annoy him, get some good entertainment, and enjoy the rest of your Mondays. Happy Labor Day, y'all. I will see you on Wednesday. Or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Definitely Wednesday. Bye.